Welcome to Journey with Josh. I'm Josh Ubaldi, and we're taking you on a journey of a lifetime into marketing and advertising. Together, we'll solve every mystery about marketing you've ever come across so you can get all the leads and sales you want, and best of all, how to grow a business you truly love. Welcome back to Marketing Therapist. I'm Josh Ubaldi, today's marketing therapist for you. This is part of the Journey with Josh podcast, of course. But in this marketing therapist section, I get to answer your questions, which is something that I have truly come to love inside of my business because this moves you forward. You get to shove all those obstacles and those walls aside. You get to bust them down. You get to create momentum, and you let marketing become the true bridge and connection it's meant to be, instead of that big, horrible wall that you feel you have to climb over to get to a sale. Ultimately, we're going to answer your questions, and I need to, again, start with a disclaimer, which is to say, I'm not a technical therapist. I am not a clinically trained, board-certified therapist. However, very kindly in the past, and I now own this mantle with 100% ownership, I have been called a marketing therapist in the past. So we're running with it, even though most of what I really do is really solid, advanced business coaching. And maybe sometimes it's very basic business coaching, but I find that it's the stuff people need every day to create that momentum. So today, welcome back to Marketing Therapist. We're diving into 3 more questions. In the past, I've kind of broken things up into very simple, basic questions, or questions about a theme, or questions that are really on purpose very advanced or much more advanced for the more advanced person, because people that I do work with are throughout the whole gamut of just starting out right through to could do a lot of things themselves, just want fine tuning or want somebody to start taking things over. So you're going to put yourself somewhere in that continuum and pick right up where you are, right? There's no right place to start from. There's no thing that you need to make sure you have to make this get going, or you need to strive for. You are in the right place with your experience and your assets and the things that are meaningful to you and your business and your audience. I am also always here as much for you as for your audience, because I know, and I hope you know, that I get to touch and help so many more people because I get to help you. And that is exponential joy. I couldn't tell you how grateful I am for that very essence. Okay, enough of that. Let's dive into questions. So we're kind of continue to ride the roller coaster of different variety of questions going forward. So first question this week is from Jay. Jay, you know who you are, and thank you so much for your question. Jay asks, you talk about avatars a little bit, and I have done some worksheets on them. Why does this matter so much? A beautiful question. What is an avatar, and why the heck might it matter so much? Now, I am going to say your avatar matters so much. And most people start where you might be, Jay, where you've done a couple worksheets on them. And most people, just so you're really aware, most people do a couple worksheets on them, put it aside, forget all about it, and never touch it again, and certainly never call upon it, right? However, your avatar is like a magic key. Your avatar is the key to secret doors that lead to rooms full of gold or treasure or just adventure, if you want to look at it that way. So let's pull it apart just a little bit. What is an avatar if someone is like, oh, I'm not sure? By the way, for anybody who is or considers themselves more advanced, here's my invitation for you to revisit this for a second and see if you can pull and suck even more content and joy and value out of this. An avatar, also called your ideal customer, your ideal client, your audience of one, all of these things are effectively the same thing, which is to say they're your chosen embodiment of who your ideal client is that you really want to work with, that you know you can help and you want to help, and they also want your help and will make the most of your help. That is a true, great, simple, let's just say boiled down definition of an avatar. So when you stop and you get to create your avatar, right? Maybe you've done some worksheets like Jay, if this is for somebody else, right? Maybe you've done some worksheets and you've dove into it just a bit of it, or at least scratched the surface, right? What then? Right? So much of what I do in my business is say, okay, well, now we have that. What then? What do we do with this? Right? So many people have all these assets they're sitting on, all of this value they're sitting on, and they don't put it to use. They don't call upon it. They don't pick it up like the magic wand that it is and cast spells with it, because that is effectively what that is consistently with all different types of things in your business. The avatar is the same thing. So the avatar is going to fulfill a bunch of functions. The first thing is your avatar is going to help you focus in the consideration of one single person, right? It's going to help you create some sort of embodiment that you get to create and you get to put together, and you get to identify and say, my ideal client is this and this and this and this, and equally. And sometimes the easiest place to start with this is, my ideal client is not that or that or that or that, right? So many, I've ridden a roller coaster of this throughout my business, for example, where, right, for years, my business was completely referral based, which is a really nice thing. It says very great things about people wanting to refer my services to people. However, that meant that I was just receiving a lot of people that I knew I could help, but they were not my ideal client. They didn't care why things worked and how to improve those things. They didn't care about a lot of things that I know the seven-figure great businesses do really care about and they want to play with, and that's their work every day. Their work every day is to play with the things that get them closer to their avatar and get to help people or serve their audience a lot more. That is the playground I like to play in, with people who are curious and they create stuff and they put it out and they see how it goes and they provide more and more and more value. And that's what your avatar gets to do. Your avatar gets to help you focus your value. It also gets to help you focus your message, the language and the words that you choose to use to describe what you do. It helps you speak to that one person. It also does a couple kind of cool hidden things, let's say, which I oftentimes put in perspective with my previous life for decades, quite a while ago, over a decade ago, well over a decade ago now, as an actor. I was an actor and I trained in New York and I worked in New York, and then I moved to Los Angeles and I tried to train and work in the UK, and that didn't work quickly. So I came home because I'm American, and I discovered a lot of great things about acting that 100% pertain in marketing. So consider this. Here's a little advanced or pro tip for you, which makes your life really, really easy. A simple way to do some worksheets and then use and apply and put those worksheets into action is one of the great techniques of commercial acting, right? So you have theatrical acting, not just acting on stage in a theater, but acting for cameras or theater where you're telling stories and you're playing characters. It's kind of a very separate set of skills where you have commercial acting and you're just someone who's kind of you talking to the camera about a product or a service, right? So you're, so often I always just see, because this is what you see on TV, right? You see the mom of three who's always kind of busy and harassed and harried and, right? You know, thank God Bronny really helps me clean up every spill when it happens. Or it's like the aw shucks dad in the yard doing the yard work and the kid comes home with the dent in the car, and, you know, thankfully, we got Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace to deal with the dings in the windscreen, and now we'll deal with the bodywork, right? And how do you make that approachable and considerate and simple and direct and not over the top and not acting or actorly? And here's the key. There's a little tip, and the tip is so simple, right? The tip is so simple, which is to say, for great commercial acting, I did a lot of different classes back in the day, literally decades ago now, where it was always the same. It was always some version of the same, which is when you're doing your commercial acting, speak like you're talking to your best friend. Now, your best friend may be your best friend, but your best friend may also be your mom, your sibling, your kid, your work colleague, any variety of other people who just qualify as best friend. And if you don't feel like you have a best friend, just talk to your mom, your sibling, whoever you're comfortable with, because it does a couple things for you, right? Now, this is acting technique, but you can see how it might apply for you here. When you're talking to your best friend and you make a mental emotional switch, which actually really happens, and you're going to have that conversation, your voice just drops down into you and you start having a conversation and you quote unquote sound like yourself, right? There's no performance. You don't need to perform. There's no fake it till you make it, because if you're reading what's called copy, right? The text where it's like the audition piece and you're talking to the camera, you just talk to the camera and you put your best friend's face where that camera would be. I get to see so-and-so and I put them there. And sometimes that changes, right? And this is a great simple thing. And you say, I'm just gonna say this and make this for my best friend. And I'm gonna tell them, gosh, oh my God, I can't believe what happened last night. Could you believe the mess that those kids made? How ridiculous. I was so angry, but I couldn't help but laugh at the same time, right? And whatever the copy is, sometimes the copy's great, sometimes the copy's stupid. But at the end of the day, you're now not reading words. You're now getting to just have a conversation. And that is really a beautiful thing inside your business, where you get to use the worksheets that you've actually created and apply them and just start to really focus on who is that person for you? Who is that person you want to offer your offers to, that you want to speak to, that you want to make sure they know that, or what they're looking for. You have the solution to their problem and you can name their problem and then tell them the solution, but say it right to them, right? It doesn't need to be marketing speak. It doesn't need to be advertising speak. There's no speak involved, right? That's the beauty of the 3 T's of great advertising, which is you test stuff out to see what feels organic and hits the bullseye, right? We're not trying to, make some magic and isn't this cool if I just close my eyes and gosh, it's so lucky and great if I hit that. You get to hit the bullseye if you choose to structure things and hit the bullseye, right? There's no mistake or mystery to it. So your avatar is there for you to more directly speak with. Now, inside many businesses, people have multiple streams of their business. They have multiple very different offers. And sometimes in people's single business, they have multiple offers that are for slightly different people. You can have different avatars, right? You can have that. Now, I'm going to give you one more huge pro tip, which is many of the very best businesses, including the ones that I get to work with and have worked with over the years, the 7-figure upgrades, as I like to call them, is they create everything for one person, their avatar or their ideal client. And oftentimes they give them a name, right? Let's say your avatar is Sam. I don't know, maybe that's Samuel, maybe that's Samantha, maybe that's whatever, right? Let's say your avatar is Sam and every piece of got copy is written to Sam. Hey, Sam, right? Blah, 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 blah. And that's going to go in an email or it's going to go in a sales page. And all you got to do at the end of it is cross out the Hey, Sam, and you have simple copy, easier copy, heartfelt, direct, clear copy, because it's just you sharing what you need to share, right? At the end of the day, you get to call upon and use this. I see so many people do the worksheets and say, yep, check, done that, once and done, put it aside and never use it again. And they're like, what should I say? How should I do this? What should I do it? Right? Just use the asset. You got the worksheet. Put it to use for yourself. So, Jay, great question. I hope this energizes you too. I'll put a couple things out there. Maybe hone in and clarify your avatar even more, that you feel like it's really one person. If you have multiple offers and multiple avatars, lowest hanging fruit, always start with lowest hanging fruit and just start with the first offer you're going to make and start shifting everything in terms of your copy and your sales and landing pages and all those things. Just put all that out there to Hey Sam and keep it simple for yourself. And then you can do that for the rest of the avatars if you have them. But hone this in, get those worksheets out and apply it. You have it. You're sitting on a gold mine. Almost everybody I work with is sitting on a gold mine and it's just not being mined or tapped. right? So put it to use. Your avatar is a great place to start, and I'm thrilled you're asking about it. Hey, it's Josh here. Are you finally ready for advertising that works every single time? If so, then download the 3 T's of great advertising right now. We're going to give you our simple 3-step system that quite literally works every time for ads that do the job time and again. And as well, we're also going to give you the 7 marketing must-haves. These are the main principles so you can get the absolute most out of your investment in any type of Facebook and Instagram ads and beyond. Don't hesitate. Let's get started today and make this super simple. It's certainly not rocket science, and there's no smoke and mirrors. Download it today at www.goldenringmarketing.com/get started. One more time, that's www.goldenringmarketing.com/get started. And we'll see ya on the other side. Okay, question number 2. Michelle, thank you for your question, Michelle. And Michelle's question is, okay, let me just take a sip of water so I can keep going. Michelle asks, isn't Facebook ads all about targeting? My audience loves Oprah. So why don't people buy my program if they like Oprah and I get them on my list? Michelle, such a great question. This is a really, really great question. And your question actually dives really quickly into the existential and fundamental misunderstanding about advertising and immediate sales, right? So I want to say, Michelle, you're in the right place and you're asking the right question. Because you've asked this question, you're now actually giving yourself the chance to like jump up multiple levels in your sophistication of how marketing really works. And you're going to pick up that wand and start casting stronger spells and doing better things with this. Full on Harry Potter, get that little unicorn hair wand out, and you get to make this magic start to happen. So, isn't Facebook ads all about marketing? Really good question. Indeed, Facebook ads is partly one of the elements is about marketing. Facebook ads and any type of online advertising is not ever going to be all about marketing. And this, I'm so glad you asked, because it's not all about marketing. That's a real myth that the marketing, everything lives and dies with the marketing. I can share quite honestly over the years that most people find that their default setting, because someone else has usually told them some version of that, is, well, if you put something out there and it's not working, it's the targeting. The targeting is to blame. The targeting is the problem. The targeting is the thing. Here's the thing. It's actually not. It can influence that a little bit, but actually there's more to it that gives you more control. And this isn't something like, oh, I just have one chance and one code to crack. I have one chance to crack this, and it's all the targeting. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to waste thousands of dollars. I have inherited those people too. Suffice to say, I still find that like $7,000 is the amount of money people waste because they start with and stay in this place of it's just the targeting. Something's wrong with the targeting. So it's never all about the targeting. In one of the things that we give to people, which we will make sure it's in the show notes for you, right? I want you initially to really get at the start, the 3 T's of great advertising, ads that always work, because targeting is one element. The 3 T's, to cut to the chase, but find out more about each of them and start to apply them, is 1 T, targeting, 2 T, testing, 3, tracking, right? So targeting is the first thing. It's not always where we're going to start with everything. We're going to get to it sooner than later. But targeting is finding the right people. Testing is in many ways way more important. Testing is a newer skill because this is a skill set of combined skills that when you got it under your belt, you're going to zoom, but it is a set of combined skills. Testing is one of the newer ones for people. Testing is where you put variations of different things out there and you get to let your audience choose. Let them choose. They will tell you what they prefer. And then you get to stop guessing and keep going towards what they prefer. And you get success and better results way faster. That is mostly in the testing section. you can change the targeting faster. When you can detach yourself a little more and say, nope, right? So your question really is, my audience loves Oprah. Why don't people buy my program if they like Oprah? So here's the deal, right? So let me go back for a second and finish this. My ear's all itchy as the weather changes here, right? So we have targeting, we have testing, and we have tracking. Tracking is where you get to make sense of your results. Because if you're just doing one or the other and you're not tracking and making sense of the results, interpreting and reading the results, you're gambling, right? You're at a slot machine, just like, yep, take my dollar, take my dollar, take my dollar. And maybe you win the 300 or maybe you win nothing and you just lose and lose and lose, right? And everybody who's going to gamble is going to win at least once at some point. But that's not a business strategy, right? That's something that you're happy for luck when it happens, but it can't sustain a business, right? And it certainly can't help you when you're putting an investment of things into advertising, for example, to reach the very best people who should come in and enter your business. So, my audience loves Oprah. Why don't people buy my program if they like Oprah? There's a couple great things to this really great question. If your audience likes Oprah as a general concept, right? Essentially what you are doing in that specific case is your advertising, when you choose to target Oprah, there is an Oprah page. Your advertising is going to say that ultimately, right, people who like Oprah are going to get this ad. There's a very sharp disconnect and a little dot that we have to connect from one section to the other. There's different sections here, which is to say, yes, your audience may like Oprah, but not everyone who likes Oprah may like your offer. In the past, years ago, I really used to always talk about advertising kind of disconnected from offers, and we do the best with the offer the person has. And now I'm very actively helping people understand and improve their offers so that they get way more out of their advertising investment. It's a huge marketing shift that is bigger than just ads, but the ads are a major part of that. The ads can start to show you if people like the offer or they don't. So part one of this is you're targeting people like Oprah because those people like your business or say that they do. Perfect. Great. And then separately, it is a separate situation. We have to find the people who really want your offer, whatever your offer is. This is a good time for me to save for anybody who is writing in a question. I really appreciate these short questions. I'm going to invite you and feel free to maybe make a short paragraph where you tell me what your general business is and your main offer. Maybe you can keep that just to one line. This is my business. This is my main offer. And I can actually provide maybe some more specific guidance to you in case it pertains. But whatever your offer is, Michelle, I want to make sure that it's super clear to you that Facebook will show your stuff to people who like Oprah. But that doesn't mean that they're going to love your offer and want to come in, right? And this is a journey as well. So this is a great time to look at the second step here, which is people enter a customer journey at one point, and then they go through the dots that you connect for them all the way through this journey of not knowing who you are to knowing more about you and your offers. And they take this journey to go to your sale. It's always the same thing. It doesn't matter what the offer is. It doesn't matter what the business is. It's always this journey that people go along. But you get to connect the dots for them. You get to control and figure that out on their behalf for their benefit. And whatever it is about your people liking Oprah, we want to maybe get even more specific about people who like Oprah and something maybe even more specific to your specific offer. You can combine interests inside of the ads manager. If you're doing Facebook or Instagram ads, you can combine things, you can do that. But one advanced tip that I will also give to people who are more advanced or want to think about this in a slightly bigger way is really specifically Oprah. I know from Oprah has, and many people are like this. Bill Gates, or Apple, or not Tim Cook. I don't mean Tim Cook. Steve Jobs, right? So there's very big names, right? Where if you target them online, the audience is massive. It's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people, right? Don't forget, with ads, you're entering an auction, and you want to maybe start with way less than millions and millions of people, and a smaller group of people who are more ready to move forward with your offer than just that massive piece of targeting on the front end, which is Oprah. Because if you're spending $10 a day or $20 a day, let's say $50 a day, and you're trying to have the system reach and show the ads randomly to millions and millions and millions of people, it's going to take the system a long time to start finding the right ones. And that's the algorithm. The algorithm kicks in, right? The computer program that makes the targeting work inside of Facebook or some tool like that, but specifically Facebook, right? The algorithm will get better, but if your budget's really small, you want to start small. You want to give it a smaller pool of people to target so that you can move forward. And of course, we don't know what your offer is. So these distinctions will make night and day difference for you. It will move you forward, it will get you answers faster, and it will clarify. So I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. I'm going to read Michelle's question one more time, which is, isn't Facebook ads all about targeting? My audience loves Oprah. Why don't they buy my program if they like Oprah and I get them on my list? Right? So the final piece of this is, right, that customer journey has multiple dots to connect. So you're targeting Oprah, you want to get them on the list. That's one major dot into these different areas. People like Oprah and they like your offer. You get them on your list. And then there's another big dot that you get to connect for them, which is they get on your list, but you then have to make them a customer. Right? We have to get them onto the list, and along the journey may be super short where they enter here and they become a lead and then they become a customer really fast. Most people's journey is a little longer. So if you're able to get someone on your list and get them to get to know you and trust you and like you, you get them closer to getting ready to buy something. And this is because there's a lot of offers out there in the world. And that's a good thing just to remind yourself, right? So you need the know, like, and trust. And Michelle, for you specifically, go back to the training inside of these questions in this area so you can dive into know, like, and trust and really engage with your audience and connect with them and use these tools differently so you can connect those dots for them. Great question. All right. Kim asks, Kim is our third and final one today. Kim asks, I've sold my course to my current clients, so it's working. I want to go from clients who already know me to brand new people, but this is feeling hard. Tips? Kim, I got some tips. So I do have some tips. I have some thoughts for you. So I want to start with talking about intangibles for a second, right? Because it's business and because money is involved, right? A lot of people all of a sudden start to only focus on the tangibles, the leads, the sales, the revenue, the money, the leads, the sales, the revenue, the money, the leads, the sales, the revenue, the money. Oh my gosh. And we forget that there's loads of intangibles when it comes to marketing and actually having people move through this customer journey. Everything starts and ends with your customer journey. So ultimately, I love this question because this is really common, Kim, that people have this experience. I've sold my course to my current clients. So where's our starting point? You have clients. We don't know how you got them, but somehow you got these clients. Awesome. I love that. And now you have a course that you have offered to your current clients. These people are way along your customer journey. They know you. They also are current clients, so they like and trust you. And now they've taken that extra dot. You're now able to connect that final dot is, well, they're already clients. They know, like, and trust you. They've gone now from just being clients to actually buying a course. And it's really great in everyone's business if you can have someone who's already invested keep buying and buy another course and buy another package and buy another whatever it is. That's a great business practice and something to keep in mind, but it is one step at a time. So if you've sold your course to your current clients, you've actually done something where, if we're looking at the customer journey, someone enters here and they're moving along here, along all these dots though, you've connected the dots for them. Ultimately, these people were actually starting along the course customer journey with you, not here, but over here, like I showed a little earlier, right? So they're maybe just connecting one more dot to say, oh my God, I love that Kim has this offer. I'm gonna get that too. So you've sold your course to your current clients and they started in a very different part of the customer journey. So it's working. So that's the thing. It's working for them. It's working for them because they know you. It's working for them because they trust you. It's working for them because they have already invested and are current clients in you. And that's a great thing to know. And I want to throw out a major pro tip here, which is to say, if your business, like mine had, if your business had grown primarily through affiliates and referrals over the years or more recently, and you have someone recommending you who's really engaged with their list and their audience really loves them and really knows, likes, and trusts them, that person might be entering your world through the referral, not here as someone new to go through a whole know, like, and trust process with all these connected dots. They've also entered maybe not as far into the customer journey as a current client of yours, but maybe they've entered boom, 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 boom. Oh, they've so far fast forwarded through that customer journey that now they just need a couple more dots connected. And that's way easier. And actually it's way faster for you. So I've sold my course to my current clients, so it's working. Well, it's working for the current clients. I want to go from current clients who already know me to brand new people, but this is feeling hard. The reason it's feeling hard is because it is a very different experience. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be hard and stay hard. It means that it's a different character, right? It's a different character who enters your customer journey for a new offer here to go boom, current client to course sale, versus I want to offer it to brand new people. The brand new people will now enter your customer journey here at the cold start, the cold. This is brand new people, cold audience. They're cold to you. They don't know you yet. They haven't warmed up. Like, you enter a room for a cocktail party and you're like, Sally, you're here. I'm so glad to see you. This is great, right? So much warmth bubbles out of me when I see a familiar face versus someone I don't know and they don't know me. And they're not going to be excited to see me unless they're a celeb. I'm a celebrity maybe. And in today's day and age, a lot of people get excited to see celebrities who other people don't know, but maybe you're not a celebrity to them yet. So they don't know you yet. You haven't introduced yourself yet fully with an ad. So the customer journey actually operates a little differently. That person's going to enter here, and then you're going to have more dots to connect. So your experience, Kim, here is that you get to start to fill in these gaps and understand all of these dots you get to connect, which are going to be a little different from like for a current client. But here's the good news. In your specific situation, you have current clients. So let's just bring it back down to basics. How did you get these current clients? How did these people connect with you? Why did they pull that trigger and become your current client? Everything you now know about that, start applying here. Give brand new people the same connection and opportunity that these people had back in the day when they were brand new. And just extend that further back and start to connect those dots for them. This isn't rocket science. Every business does this. Every business who is scalable and has scaled and will scale literally has to crack this code for themselves. And the patterns are the same across the board, but you're in a great place because this is really the key. If you can crack the code both for warm people or referred people, and you can crack the code for cold people, you get to scale your business to 100 to 6, multi-six figures and 7 way faster than somebody else who just can't, who won't figure it out. They won't take the time to figure that out. You get to figure it out, Kim. All right. Great questions. Thank you again to Jay and Michelle and Kim. Big hugs. I really appreciate your questions. The value you bring with your questions will allow you to have an amazing experience with this information and resume forward and create even more momentum with them. And please, if you have questions, if something makes you feel like you're stuck right now, if you feel like you're not gathering momentum, if you can identify, I have obstacles and these are the questions for them, put them in the notes, right? There's a link in the show notes for questions inside Spotify. If you're catching this on YouTube, write us a comment. We will reply and answer your question here, right? I want to answer your questions so that you can start making the most of this. And by all means, get the Ultimate Facebook Ad Starter Kit. Come and make use of that free trial into the mastermind so that I can more directly work with you and your business and answer your specific questions that will move you forward even faster. As always, you can find us in the Journey with Josh podcast in case you got this through some word link. You can also find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You can also find us at goldenringmarketing.com. And we look forward to answering your questions somewhere in cyberspace really, really soon. I'll see you next time.